Okay, folks. So there's a lot of controversy between the myth and the facts, between dice influence, dice controllers, etc., etc. Some says yes, some says no. It's like the Democrat and the Republicans. But unlike the Democrat and Republic and the Communist Party, which is all the same party, and the people end up at the end of the day paying the bill to a party that you're not invited to, the dice influence and the dice controls to a limited degree is possible. Okay? It all depends on the individual. All right? Now, the reason why people say that it's not possible, you can't do it, is for a couple of reasons. One is they've never done it themselves, or they tried doing it but gave up because they believe in their head that it's not possible, therefore they already failed. It's in their mindset, okay? Now, some people say, oh, I did it, I tried it, and I practiced, but it didn't work. It didn't work for you because you probably didn't get the right instruction. You didn't have the right mentor. You didn't reach out to the right group of people that made it work for them. And they can show you how to do it, okay? Now, you might know somebody that plays crap and they become dice influenced and everything, and then they gave up and go back to a random shooter. And then you ask them and they say, yeah, it doesn't work. You know why? Because it didn't work for him. He didn't put in enough practice time. Now, how much practice time do you need? Well, the math says you need 10,000 hours to be good at something, right? Just like a musician, he doesn't pick up a guitar and expect to be a virtuosus superstar the same moment. He's got to put in hours and days and years of work. Just look at Steve Vai. You think he became great overnight? No. He took a time, he practiced, he gave up many things. Instead of playing outside with his buddies, he's in his room plucking away at the strings. And now look at him. He's one of the greatest. Same thing like dice influence, dice controller, right? The more time you put into it, the better you become. But it's all up to you. If you put the time in it and you get frustrated and you can't break through the barrier, you're going to give up. And when somebody asks you about it, you're going to say, yeah, I tried it. It didn't work. It's all fake, right? Of course, because you fail. You didn't succeed. You didn't push beyond the boundaries. Now, when you put in the time and the practice and practice correctly with the right coach, like I'm teaching you and telling you, then anything is possible, okay? Now, you see a lot of guys throwing dice on the table, on an empty table. Yeah, that's great and dandy. It gives you the muscle memory, the movement, but it's not real world because not too often you get there on an empty table, you know? And you want to play with a bunch of people on the table because you want to rack out your comp time, all right? If you're by yourself, you're not going to go through a lot of comp time because you got to go in and out and you're done. But if you're with a group of people, by the time the dice gets to you, you rack in extra minutes and your comp goes up a little bit, okay? Now, you see guys throwing money on the table and everything, show them how great they are and everything. Well, just put your money where your mouth is, all right? Let's see if you could do it. For me, I have cash, but I don't keep the cash because it's valueless, right? I convert my cash to gold or silver and stash it up. And I make sure I pay myself first before I pay other people. This is just some samples of the stuff that I have, okay? But I don't go out there and showing it off. But a lot of people in the comments and things like that and telling me, says, oh, why don't you prove it, okay? I'll see it and then I'll believe it, then I'll do it. Well, guess what? Everybody want to ride the boat, but nobody want to help you build the boat. You feel me? Most of you know what I'm saying. Anything is possible if you put your mind to it. First, it starts with the idea, the mind, the belief, then the action. All right? Put in the right action, the right result, the right enough time, and the result will show. All right? Then take the result and adjust for the outcome you want. All right? If you're practicing for a week or a month, for half a year, and you suck at it, and you don't see the result, well, guess what? The time come, it's gonna go through, but you need to tweak your practice. It's like Einstein said, right? The most insane thing to do to expect a different result is doing the same thing over and over again, right? If you don't change the way you're doing things, you're not gonna get a different result. So if you're practicing incorrectly, of course, dice control, dice influence doesn't work for you at that time. But once you start practicing correctly and you know the details, the ins and outs, and why it happens and why you need to do certain things, then your controls will improve. Okay? So let the non-believers believe what they want. It's like a religion. There's many different gods that you want to follow, right? But there's only one true God, you know? And no, you're not going to know the truth until you get to the end of the race. But when you get to the end of the race, you can't come back and tell everybody. And if you do come back and tell everybody, they're not going to believe you anyway. Because that's how human nature is. People want to experience it for themselves. Once you experience something for themselves, then you know the outcome. It's like trying to tell a person that never have sugar in their life that it's sweet, right? That the candy is sweet. How the hell did he know what sweet is? Because he never tasted sugar in his life. He can't describe it until people tells you what it is and show you, and then they make the association. Oh, candy equals sweet, right? Sugar equals sweet. That's how dice control is, and that's how dice influence. Put in the time, put in the practice. You don't need to practice 10,000 hours to be good at it, okay? You just need to find somebody that already put in the 10,000 hours and gives you the shortcut. Learn from his mistake, all right? He's already laid out the path. You're not reinventing the wheel or finding a different path. You're just following the footstep, but he's telling you, oh, instead of going left and going right like I did, you could have just gone straight. You see? Use their experience, use their knowledge to shorten your learning time. All right? Muscle memory is what you need. You need to dial in the muscle memories so it becomes second nature. Okay? It's like a boxer. All right? When he's in the ring, he doesn't think jab, jab, right cross, uppercut, jab, jab, right cross, uppercut, right? He intentionally knows how to do it while his brain is trying to counter and pay attention to the other guy. All right? That's how you have to do with craps. You have to have developed a muscle memory, understand the tools, convert the skill into knowledge. All right? Now, I know dice control, dice influence work for me because I'm not working anymore, right? And my hands may look young. It's the magic of television, what they say, right? Everybody look good on TV, but I'm Generation X, all right? I'm Gen X. And what is our motto? We don't give a fuck of what you think. We do what we want, what we feel when we want it and when we feel it, okay? The reason why people disagree and say it's not possible because it's not possible for them and they're not willing to put in the time. Put in the time, show for practice, play the right game on the right field, understand the detail behind the game, do your research. Just because I'm telling you something and showing you something, it might not be true. Hell, I might be lying to you too. But you have to discover that yourself. You have to use what works and what doesn't work, you throw away. Okay? Use your ability and your brain to change your future, to change outcome, to desire the lifestyle that you want. All right? People say it's not possible because they tried it and they always end up losing their money. Well, guess what? They're playing the wrong game and the math catches up. You've seen it. I've shown it to you. One roll, out the door. Anyone, almost anyone can make one good roll unless they intentionally set up for a 7. Okay? And hell, if you don't think dice control, dice thing is possible, look at the people that set up the dice to roll for a 7 on the outcome and it happens. Okay? It's not 100%. There's no guarantee, not even in life. But you can twist the scale and put it in your favor. How much that you tilt the scale in your favor depend on your ability and the time you invest in it. Why do you think not everybody's a millionaire, trillionaire, billionaire? Because not a lot of people want to put the time in it to do it, or they don't understand the path, the knowledge to get there. But when you find these individuals, they're more than willing to show you and explain to you how to get to where they're at. Because let's face it, folks, it's lonely at the top, you know? It's no fun of winning big at a table and turn around and there's nobody that you recognize and you hang out with to help you celebrate, right? In order to be good at something, you have to give up something else. You have to sacrifice something, right? Hell, if you want to put in the time to be good at a dice influence, dice controller, then you got to get on the table. You got to practice. You got to roll. You can't be sitting on the couch watching TV for 2 hours. That 2 hour could have been your practice time. All right? So put in the practice, put it in the time. And no matter what anybody tell you, it doesn't work, you figure it out yourself. It's how bad you want it. If you want it bad enough, you'll get it. Knock and it will be open. Ask and you will receive. Seek and you will find. Okay? People, what they do is, oh, you reap what you sow, right? So why not sow what you want to reap? Get it? It's a state of mind. It's a philosophy. It is a point of view, a perspective. If you have the right perspective, anything is possible. Okay? If you don't think it's possible, you have negative energy, you're already sabotaging yourself. So it's not possible. Think and it will happen. Okay? Put in the time. The math is telling you 10,000 hours to be fluid at something. It didn't say 10,000 hours and you'll be master at it. Now, 10,000 hours of practicing, not knowing what the hell you're doing, just doing the same thing over and over, it's going to give you the same result. Okay? Find somebody that has proven, that's passed over, that's trying to do what you did and done it, right? You don't ask a poor person how to become a millionaire because he hasn't got there. He doesn't know what it's like. But if you ask a poor person how to be poor, he'll tell you exactly how to do it because he's done it. All right? You get it? All right? You don't ask a race car driver how to fly an airplane because he doesn't have a pilot license, okay? Now, you don't ask a delivery person that drives a UPS truck or FedEx or anything, which is a great job, it's nothing against that, how to drive a Formula One car, okay? It's totally different. You don't ask a NASCAR driver how to drive in the Le Mans class car, right? Because all they're doing is making a left turn all the time or a right turn, whatever it is, full circle. With the other courses, this left turn, right turn, hairpin, straight line, you know, if you want to be a drifter, you practice on a course that has different turns, right? You don't just go in an oval course because the only thing you're going to do is just one movement. The same thing like dice practice, dice control, dice influence. You need to practice correctly to get the result that you desire. And the only way to find that, put in the time, find somebody that's willing to give the information to train you because they've done it. So you can shorten your learning time, all right? Now, if I want to play basketball, I don't go and ask my cousin who doesn't know anything about basketball. I would try to find a buddy that plays professional basketball and say, hey, how do I stand? How do I hold the ball? How do I dribble? What do I need to do to be an okay player, right? And he'll tell you, oh, you got to stand here, you got to run here, you got to do your drills. Now, whether you do what he says, it's up to you. You know, you got an illness, you go to the doctors prescribe you medication, right? You go home, you put the medication on the shelf, and then you say, oh, I'm sick, it's not working. You know why? Because you're not taking the medication. You get it? So, put in the time, practice correctly, find somebody to shorten your time, and it will happen for you. You just have to first believe in yourself. And how bad do you want this? You want to change your lifestyle? Make a change. You just can't sit there and say, I want to change my lifestyle and still sit there, okay? Do something about it. Desire, action, result. Okay? For example, I never chase women, all right? I chase the money. because I know with money comes women. Same result, right? It's respective. Now, depending on what type of women you want, that's a totally different story. So dice fluence, dice control, it's all up to you. It's possible. You need to find the resources. All right? And the key is, like I said, anybody can do it. And the great part is you don't have to go there and do the drill outside, running up and down, sweat and everything. You just need to pick up the dice, stretch your arm, roll, do the calculation in your head. All right? Put in the time, practice correctly. Find the people to get the information that you desire for your outcome. And that's it. And those people that don't believe that it's possible, hey, I'm happy for you too. But I know for a fact that if you want to play crap, you're going to be spending more money than I will. All right? So take your money, convert it into an asset that it can continue and still make money for you. All right? Instead of just sitting there collecting dust. The first thing you do once you make money is pay yourself first before you pay somebody else. Making money in crap is easy. Anybody can do it. You could always make money in crap. The hardest part is keeping it, right? Keep the money you make. That's why I specifically stress one roll out the door. Okay? Now, if you're just betting the table minimum and you do one roll on a $15 table and you do one roll, of course you're going to make $15 and you're going to walk away. But you're not going to walk away because $15 is not enough for you. You want more, right? Remember what I told you? How much money do you need to stop making money? If you ask a millionaire, trillionaire, billionaire, they're always going to say one more dollar. The same thing like what you do in your crap. You always want more because you're greedy, right? So you hit big. I set up for 110 or above or whatever. And once I make that money, it's a big chunk. $100 a day is pretty good, right? Then I walk out. I don't need to hang around. Now, the key also is build your bankroll, okay? Instead of going to the casino for $500, $200, $300 all the time, you're not going to have enough bankroll to do what you need, okay? Put that money in a job, build up until you get a couple of G's. Then you go there, then you spend 1G, 2G, but at least you know you got 5, 6 G's in the back pocket for reserve. You need to consistently improve your skill. Then put your money on the line. Because face it, just like any athlete, any boxer, you can't train forever. You got to step in the ring at least once to know what it feels like. Okay? So, going back to the topic, I hate to rate on it. Practice. Practice correctly. Put in the time. Find somebody that's good at what they do for what you want to do and pick their brains to shorten your time. All right? If you don't think dice control, dice influence is possible, well, guess what? You haven't put in 10,000 hours. All right? You don't have to put in $10,000 if you find somebody that's already achieved the same goal you want. You shorten your time by picking their brain, having them mentor you. That's all I have to say about it. Find out for yourself. If you really want this, you really want it bad enough, it's going to happen to you. Right? I may look young, but like I said, I'm Generation X. And I haven't worked for a very, very long time. And I'm doing what the hell I want to do because I have FU money. And the reason why I have FU money is because I manifest wealth by acquiring knowledge. Okay? I develop a skill, which is an asset. And the asset makes the money for me. Okay? I don't develop liability. If you don't practice, you don't know what you're doing at the craps table, it's a liability. Just like every other gambling. Reduce your liability. Thank you. And don't forget to show up for practice. And hopefully, this will wake you up. It's like a drill sergeant, okay? Take care.